Have you ever wondered what really matters when the years go by and life has taught you so many lessons? After 60, many people begin to reflect on what is truly important. But how many times have we sacrificed ourselves for others, giving up pieces of ourselves? How many times have we neglected our health, our time, our passions, just to please those around us? Now imagine, what if you discovered that there are things you should never, ever sacrifice for anyone, especially after the age of 60? No matter how much you care about others, there are aspects of yourself that you should protect like a sacred treasure. In this story, the wise master Hoshi will reveal the 7 things you should never sacrifice so that you can live your remaining years with fullness, joy, and dignity. And if you stay until the end of the video, you will discover an 8th thing that will not only surprise you, but will completely change the way you see yourself and your time. This 8th revelation is something that most people never consider, yet it is the key to a full and peaceful life. So get ready, because what you are about to hear could transform the way you choose to live each day. But before you continue, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Also, don't forget to look at the links we prepared for you in the video description. In a small monastery hidden in the mountains of Japan, a group of disciples sat in a circle around their elderly master, the sage Hoshi. The air was crisp on that autumn morning, and the golden leaves were falling slowly from the branches, as if they wanted to listen to what the master was about to share. The years had marked the master's face with deep wrinkles, but his eyes still shone with the wisdom and serenity of someone who has understood the true meaning of life. One of the disciples, his face full of curiosity, came forward and asked, "Master Hoshi, when we reach a certain age, what are the things we should never sacrifice, even for the sake of others?" The master smiled, and after a long silence that seemed to fill the air with solemnity, began to speak. "My children," said Hoshi, "the first thing that you must not sacrifice for anyone in the world is health. When you pass the age of 60, the body begins to ask for what you denied it in youth. Often, to please others, we work more than we should. We deprive ourselves of rest. We eat inadequately. But now, after 60, health must be a top priority. It is like water from a spring. When it is abundant, we take it for granted, but when it runs out, only then do we understand its value. Take care of what you eat, rest when you feel the need, and listen to the signals of your body. Without health, you cannot enjoy the beauty of a sunset or the smile of a friend. Never sacrifice your well-being for others, because only if you are healthy can you continue to love and support those around you. Time is the most precious gift we possess, especially when there is less of it left than we have already lived. Therefore, it is the second thing you must protect from others. Each day that passes is a drop that slips away from a vase that cannot be filled again. Do not let others steal your time with superfluous requests or obligations that do not belong to you. After 60, every hour is sacred. Make time for what fills your heart. A walk in the woods, a chat with an old friend, a moment of meditation under the stars. It is not selfishness to guard your time, but wisdom. Be selective. Read books that nourish the soul. Cultivate relationships that enrich the spirit, and let go of what empties you. Your independence is another element that must be safeguarded at all costs. Life is a long journey towards self-sufficiency, but many believe that growing old means inevitably becoming dependent on others. This is a mistake we can avoid, Hoshi said with a firm tone. After the age of 60, protecting your independence is essential. Do not sacrifice it to please children or grandchildren who would like you to be closer or more available. Be like a mountain that stands alone, but do not isolate yourself. Learn to say no when necessary and continue to cultivate small daily habits that give you a sense of autonomy, Make yourself a cup of tea. Tend a small garden. Take care of yourself. Even these simple gestures nourish your dignity. Continuing with this important list, the monk spoke of dreams and goals. At 60, some might tell you that it is too late to pursue dreams or discover new passions, but do not let that discourage you. Hoshi said with a flash of determination in his eyes, "The years you have accumulated have made you wise and capable of appreciating things with a depth that the young do not." Never sacrifice what you love to do to meet other people's expectations. If you've always wanted to paint, write poetry, or play an instrument, do it now. Don't let the fear of not being young enough stop you from exploring new paths. True youth is in the enthusiasm with which you approach what you are passionate about. Inner peace is the fifth thing the Master spoke about. The world is full of chaos and worries, and many will come to you with their problems, trying to pour their anxieties on you, the Master continued. But remember, after the age of 60, your inner peace is a sacred garden that must be protected. Peace is like a calm lake. Do not allow anyone to throw stones into it. When someone tries to drag you into their drama, take a deep breath and remember that you don't have to absorb their chaos. Learn to say no gently but firmly. Protect your serenity like a secret garden where only the respectful are admitted. Our beliefs and values should never be sacrificed. Your values are like the roots of a great tree that have supported you through the storms of life, Hoshi said. Never sacrifice what you believe in to please those who try to change you. By the time you're 60, you've learned what's truly important to you. Your beliefs are the fruit of experience, mistakes, successes, and reflections. Keep them as a precious treasure because they are your inner compass. Those who truly love you will respect what you have chosen to be without trying to bend you to their will. Stay true to yourself, even when the world around you changes. The seventh thing you should never sacrifice for any reason is your own happiness. The Master paused for a long time, as if gathering the right words. Too many of you have spent your life sacrificing your happiness for the well-being of your children, partners, friends, or colleagues. But remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. After the age of 60, your happiness should be your priority. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing to be happy. Happiness at this stage of life is like a rare flower that you have the right to cultivate with love. Dedicate yourself to what makes you smile, like the smell of coffee in the morning, a walk in the woods, or a sunset over the sea. No one can take away the joy of being yourself if you don't let them. The wind blew gently through the pines, carrying the Master's words like seeds of wisdom scattered in the hearts of his disciples. Hoshi rose slowly, looking up at the clear sky above them. Remember, my children, life is a journey that must be lived fully and wisely. After the age of 60, each day is a gift that deserves to be protected. Do not sacrifice what is essential to you. Live with a light heart, like leaves dancing in the wind. With a serene smile, the Master walked toward the garden, leaving his disciples to reflect on those precious lessons, knowing that each of them would find their own path to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Hoshi had spoken at length about health, time, independence, dreams, serenity, values, and happiness. But, as promised, there is an eighth thing that you should never sacrifice for anyone at any cost, and that few can truly protect, even in their final years. The eighth thing is your authenticity. Too often, we spend our lives trying to fit the expectations of others, family, friends, colleagues. At 60, 70, or even 80, many continue to live according to rules and masks imposed by society or those close to us. But the truth is this: the most precious thing you have is who you really are deep down. Never sacrifice who you are to please others or fit in with what others expect of you. When you sacrifice your authenticity, you sacrifice your soul. Don't let anyone extinguish that unique spark that makes you special. Be true to yourself, because only by living as you really are, without compromise, can you find true peace and happiness. There is nothing more precious than the freedom to be yourself. So remember, protect your health, your time, your independence, your dreams, your serenity, your values, your happiness, but most of all, protect your authenticity. It is the only gift that will accompany you until the end, and that will make your life unique and extraordinary. Now, the question is, what will you do to protect your authenticity from now on? Write it in the comments.